second date with destiny 12 months apart, from a Munich mauling of Inter to the Battle of Budapest with Arsenal. And that's exactly what PSG got. The break of the ball, Kai Havertz crashing home. 6 minutes in, Arsenal in a shock lead. They put 11 men behind the ball. Nuno Mendes hit the byline, and the ball broke to Fabian Ruiz, unable to hit it with his head on the target. And then Dembele, after linking up with Kvaratskhelia, the penalty. Ballon d'Or, Dembu, tucking it away for one apiece. Game on. With the last kick of the regulation time, Bradley Barcola could have won it, but hit the side netting. Instead, it went all penalties. Gonzalo Ramos got them off to a perfect start. For the Parisiens were a penalty away when Beraldo hit the side netting. And his compatriot Gabriel failed to hit the target. And Paris Saint-Germain were champions of Europe once again. 2 in a row. Just the 9th club to have achieved it. Champions of France, champions of Europe.
That's all they needed, that little space.
Yeah, and that's your worry when you... Listen, what else is Mikel going to do? Is he going to come and go, right, we're going to press you all over the pitch, go man for man? I thought he got his game plan spot on, and the players executed it. And then, yeah, you have to stay focused. It's tough on Mosquera because he was excellent.
Yeah, and I think only twice, the penalty being one of them, was when they got in behind us. And that is something almost to be proud of, because they're so attacking prowess. We look at Bayern Munich, what they did to Bayern Munich, and you see the goals were scored in that game. So this guy, I think, is immense. As I say, you get a lot of satisfaction out of watching him play. I thought Kai Havertz was going to be 2 finals, the winning goal in both finals, and it just wasn't to be.
You've got to look at this side as well and think, look, this is the first time they've been to a Champions League final in 20 years. They've got a manager who's, although he's been there for a number of years at Arsenal, it's his first professional role as well, Jack. And like we say, they'll learn a lot, but they're going to be back. Yeah,
they'll be back. They'll be back. And just talking on their defending, their mentality to defend. As much as the ball as they had, I think they had, one shot on target in the first half, which is outstanding. And there's a real desire to protect their goal. And yeah, you look at their back four, they're a good age. They're going to be back next year. You've got a manager who is hungry, is ambitious. He wants to push. He wants to demand more. He said that before the game about not settling just for the Premier League. And they'll definitely be back, Laura. They'll definitely be back. They'll be hungry. They'll be hurting from this, but they'll be back next year.
We've said credit to Luis Enrique, but credit as well to Mikel Arteta, because this game I don't think went in the way a lot of people were expecting it to go.
But I think it went the way Mikel wanted it, and I think that's the point. I thought Kai Havertz played instead of Gyökeres because you could play off him. And that's where the goal came from. He came short to get the ball and then spun in behind. I thought Mikel did a brilliant job of doubling up, making it difficult, taking away the space from PSG, which these attacking players had against Bayern Munich, where they exploited brilliantly. I thought the game plan was there. But Jack made a good point. They probably scored a little bit early because they defended so deep. PSG had 75% possession. But you know what, again, we said the margins are so fine, Laura, at this level, and penalties are just one of the best and worst ways to decide a game.
Incredibly fine. One kick.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Arsenal will be back bigger, better, stronger. They'll be in the transfer market. As I say, this is the start, really, I think, for Arteta, the confidence of winning a Premier League. You're just one penalty kick away, really, from becoming European champions. So I think that's a great place to build from.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to experience the hurt to learn those lessons and come back the next time stronger.
Yeah, the history tells us that, Laura. City done the same. I think Chelsea done the same. Liverpool, and it's not nice. It's not nice, and that's probably what was in Arsenal's fan in the back of their heads going into this game. Is it going to be the one that we have to learn from? But no, they'll be back because Mikel demands so much, and they'll definitely now have a summer. It's a World Cup, but they'll come back and they'll be stronger.
Just think, looking at Josh Kroenke there, and I think this has really whetted their appetite. The fan base, they're in Africa, all around the world, Arsenal fans. This is a huge football club, and as I say, they've gone toe-to-toe here with. We know this is a very, on the optics, it's a great team to watch, PSG. But I see Arsenal will build upon this. Maybe the attractive football comes back, but they'll keep trying to win.
Yeah. I know, and PSG are also that team that have had heartbreak in the Champions League and have come back, and now they've done it back to back. How much do you think the experience of winning it last year played into this year?
Well, obviously this season was a lot harder, and that was down to Arsenal. You know, PSG absolutely destroyed Inter last season, and I thought Arsenal did a brilliant job of making it a really difficult game for PSG. But they showed, I think that's the thing they've shown, Laura. You look at the boss there in the picture, it was all about the superstars and the glitz and the glamour. It's not about that anymore, it's about the team. Luis Enrique's turned this group of players into a team. They work incredibly hard, and again, I don't think it was pretty today, Laura, but they found a way to get the job done, and that's what winners do, and I think credit to them.
And the fans as well, guys, that we've just seen there, the Arsenal fans that have travelled, followed their team far and wide, and they're going to be experiencing the absolute heartbreak of this Champions League loss. They've got to try and find a way, though, to look back at the Premier League and look at that and say this team are winners and they can go on and do so much more.
Well, I mean, the club in Europe, you know, this is another penalty shootout that they've lost. That's the third now in the club's history. It's not the one they're trying. You know, you just got to keep pushing until that door opens for you. But these players have been absolutely magnificent to a man this season. I mean, the different permutations of the back four, the number of fullbacks that have played. You know, looking at Declan now, Declan's been immense. That double engine, that twin engine that he's had, he goes off to a World Cup now.
What a penalty as well.
Yeah, he's been first class.
It's credit to the players, but it's also it's a big credit to Mikel, because how he's turned around this club. You know, I think we were talking before, Martin, about what we were lacking when I was in the team. We were lacking leaders, and what were we going to become? We were going to become a team that, you know, we were soft, we played nice football. But Mikel changed that. Mikel's, you know, he's taken every single part of the club. You talk about Josh as well, and Josh has really brought into what Mikel's doing. He's aligned everyone, the players, the staff, the fans, and that's what I think they'll come back, because it's not built on sand. It's a real process that has strong foundations, and they'll come back from this.
They were billed as the underdogs tonight, and they took PSG, well, the defending champions of the Champions League, all the way through to penalties, and I think that's something they could be proud of. Now, as the remaining players get their runners-up medals and Mikel Arteta steps up there as well, let's get you back up to your commentary team, who are going to welcome your Champions League winners. Darren.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Just echoing the words of Jack and Martin and Owen down there. What a season it's been for Arsenal. Their first Premier League title for 22 years and their first appearance in a Champions League final since 2006. The best in England. But tonight they ran into a team that's the best in Europe and might well be Ali McCoy's one of the great Champions League teams when all is said and done. The third youngest team in the competition based on average age. Talent everywhere you look. And they've won another one. If you win back-to-back Champions Leagues, it puts you in a certain bracket.
Yeah, you're special. We mentioned it beforehand. I think the only time to do it in the modern era is Real Madrid. And obviously they're a fantastic side as well. But I'll tell you what, I will say to you, they never got it their own way by any stretch of the imagination. They won it with style last year. They were asked all sorts of questions this year.
Luis Enrique gave the trophy a little hug as he went past it. He's now the fifth manager to win this competition 3 times. He's now level with the likes of Bob Paisley, Zinedine Zidane and Pep Guardiola. Bettini was named man of the match, by the way. He's giving the trophy a kiss on the way past. I mean, this kind of competition can throw up unlikely heroes. I mean, nobody thought Lucas Beraldo would be the player to score the winning penalty in a shootout, based on the fact he's barely seen the field in the Champions League this season.
No, immense bravery. I think anyone who steps up to take a penalty at this level, this stage of the competition, are brave. Immense courage. You know, he could easily have sulked with the game time he's had. Top professional.
Well, 12 months ago they made the walk in Munich after a scintillating performance against Inter Milan. It was different tonight, but it is a team of such style, a team of wonderful individuals who plays the complete team, with a coach as good as any in the world right now. They really are the best around. Ousmane Dembele kept his cool when he had to. Ballon d'Or winner last season, he got the equaliser to get them back on terms. And there is the owner with the captain, Marquinhos, the Paris Saint-Germain great in every sense of the word. The most games for the club, and now 39 trophies in their colours. Gets his winner's medal and steps forward towards the trophy. A kiss from the Paris Saint-Germain captain. The biggest trophy in club football. And he walks towards his teammates, a big smile on the face of his manager. They are winners in every sense of the word, and their moment has come. And Marquinhos lifts the trophy high. Paris Saint-Germain, Champions League winners in 2026. Back-to-back Champions Leagues for this magnificent team.
Well, PSG have done it. They are back-to-back winners of the Champions League. They lift up their manager, Luis Enrique, in the air. He has changed this club. They are unrecognisable from the team that couldn't quite do it, full of egos. And he's now got a team full of stars that are playing for each other, but most importantly, they play for Luis Enrique, and they have done it again. They've beaten Arsenal in a penalty shootout, a brutal way for Arsenal to lose, but it means PSG get their back-to-back winners' medals.